Life systems failure.
Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. Hope everybody's off to a good start on the week. You know, I guess there's really no way to deny it. Apparently, there's a number of folks that like my police stories, and I get that. I understand that, and I'm kind of stuck between, do I keep talking politics, saying the same old shit, or should I just tell another story? I don't want to give all the stories away because I am in the process of finishing this never-ending book, but I'll go ahead and tell another short one. Yeah, it doesn't take me more than a split second to remember a million stories. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I'll start today. I'll just tell you a short one about the very first dead body outside of a casket that I'd ever seen. I only seen one before that. I think that was my grandmother at a funeral. But this one was my first legit, dead body. And I got to give this disclaimer and caveat. I love saying that word. If by some strange chance a relative of the person I'm talking about, I won't name names, but if this story sounds like somebody that you knew or a loved one that you lost, I sincerely mean no harm. And I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever. I mean, the story is true. This is what happened, how it happened. And my condolences always go out to those who have lost a loved one. And this one actually in particular, because it turns out that this young lady that was dead looked exactly like my sister, my older sister, who would go on in 1992 to take her own life. So, for whatever that's worth. You see the leaves behind me are starting to change color. It's awesome out here. I love it. Okay, so I was a brand new cop, man. And I was on probation now. In the LAPD, you have a year probation where you're working with a training officer, and they, if you screw up too bad, they can just fire you without a whole lot of paperwork. So I was working with a good training officer. His name was Mike. Mike, if you're watching this, I won't give your last name, but you know who you are. And God, these leaves are killer, man. Look at this. It was a simple run-of-the-mill call, one that later on in my career I would grow to dread because they were so boring and uneventful. But it was a death investigation is the way the call came out. Yeah, so it was in Venice, out down by the beach, and a lot of drugs and stuff out there. I don't know about now, but in those days, the apartment manager had been trying to get in. Oh shit, what is that? What the fuck is? Oh, it's a jogger. I thought it was a fucking Bigfoot coming through the woods. Hang on. You gotta stay by daddy. They don't bite. Little one will bark. The little guy will bark, that's all. Oh, he's not. He's making a liar out of me now.
Hi.
He's all wet.
Hi, are you okay?
Yeah, he won't bite.
Are
He's
you
just.
friendly?
He likes to pretend like he's big.
Oh, you're like my dog.
Charlie, everybody doesn't want to give you kisses. All right, be safe. Come on. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. What the hell was I talking about? Guys, we are so fucked up, man. It's easy to throw us. Anyways, what was I? I seriously don't know where the fuck my brain just went. Yeah, so I was talking about joggers. So yeah, jogging is really good for your health. And okay, so basically what happened was, I was on probation. I had this training officer named Mike. Good guy, Vietnam War veteran. Back then everybody was, well, not everybody, but a lot of guys were Vietnam veterans. I had a lot of fun with Mike. But so I'm the skinny 21-year-old, you know, right out of the academy, baby-faced cop. You know, don't know jack shit. Carrying, you know, we had 38 revolvers, and just to paint a picture for you. You know, and so the manager had been trying to get hold of the person in, you know, whatever, apartment 5. I'm just making that up. And ended up opening the door and discovered that the tenant was deceased. That's how the call came out. So we get there, and, you know, he gives us the keys. We open the door, and here's this young lady that looks, like I said, very much like my sister, long, flowing red hair. And she was laying on a bed. It was a very small apartment, and she was deceased. You know, eyes were open. I was like any other young guy. I was like, you know, thinking all the thoughts you think when you see your first dead person like that. And you're like, wow, you know, you're just thinking it. You're not saying it. You're like, wow, man, that person was alive, and now she's dead. And oh my God, her eyes are still, it looks like she's looking at me. And, come on, Charlie, let's take another lap. You're getting fat. So, he's like, yeah, you're a good one to talk, fat boy. You know, so we do our thing, and basically what our job is at that point, you know, we're not detectives, but we make sure there's no obvious signs of foul play. And I think in this case, there was a kid, or a drug, hypodermic needle. She was doing heroin, and you could see the needle and all the bullets. You know, everything was laid out. It was clear that she had overdosed. Whether she did it intentionally or not, I don't know. Probably not, you know. A lot of drug users in those days, you know, would buy from different strengths, and you know, today this number may work, and tomorrow that same number from a different dealer may kill you. Anyways, I digress. So at some point we do our initial check, and I'm still looking and freaked out by the fact that this chick's dead, because she doesn't look dead to me. She looks like she's laying there wide awake. So my partner Mike says, hey, you know, I got to go call the coroner to come down. Of course, we didn't have cell phones, and the rule back then was, you know, you don't use the phone in the residence because you don't want to disturb anything there in the event that it turns out to be foul play, a homicide or something. So you don't want your prints on the phone, and you don't want the last number to be called to be the coroner. You just leave things the way they are. So you always went next door and you used a neighbor's phone. And that's what he did. So he walks out and says, yeah, I'll be back, man. I'm going to stay with the body. Well, as soon as he walks out, I'm kind of looking around, and I'm still thinking 21-year-old thoughts. Jesus. She got up, she dressed, she put those clothes. She never knew she'd be laying there dead with me standing there. And then I caught to her, on the other side of the bed was this fish tank, a fish aquarium. And I was looking at the fish, and I thought, well, I'm going to take another look, because I had nothing else to do. So I walk over, and I kind of had to walk around the foot of the bed. So now she's on my left instead of in front of me. And I'm looking at her fish. And all of a sudden, to my left, where she's laying, I hear the long, guttural rumble of a very deeply seated fart. My fucking hair stood on end. I fucking slammed my hand to my fucking 38. I whipped around. I must have been pale as a ghost. And I backed out away around the bed. I'm looking at her. And no matter where I went, her eyes were following me, it seemed like. I back all the way to the door where the door's open. And I got my butt sticking out the door. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Hand on my 38 halfway out of my holster. And I'm staring at her, and she's staring at me. And all of a sudden I hear Mike. He comes up from behind me. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? What's happening? And he's kind of got a giggle in his voice, and I'm like, I turned around. Later, he told everybody in the division that I was literally white as a ghost. That the blood had drained completely from my face. And I turn around, I look at him, and my eyes are as big as silver dollars, and I said, she's not dead, man. She just ripped off a fart. And Mike was a short guy, no offense, Mike, and he literally almost hit the deck laughing so hard. And he was just laughing hysterically, and I'm thinking, I'm still kind of scared. I'm thinking of all the scary movies I saw. I was waiting for her to fly off that bed and fucking run toward me, man, all fucking growling and shit. You know, it seemed like it took forever for Mike to get there, but that was my indoctrination into dead bodies and post-mortem gas. So I'm sure Mike really enjoyed seeing it. And that's my little fun story. Hope you guys are doing good. LMS Tactical, I'm out.
Now my wings check my ear closest to the enemy. Details 23 100 of
Sometimes starting a fire is the hardest part of the program when you're talking about survival. Other times it becomes rather simple.
Oh my God, my wrist.
Damn near killed my boy, but it's all about surviving.